And we were dealing with the IED thing, even on the friendly side. We can go. I have an interesting story about that one too. If you want to go into it, we're gonna. Is it okay? We go back in time a little bit before the invasion.
Yeah.
So it was actually, we were doing the FLOT route. We were driving out to the FLOT route, and there's really only one road that we could take to this one OP, this outpost. And supply vehicles kept getting IED'd on that route. And there was a couple instances where they had suicide bombers that they killed on that route in our EOD. And us, we'd go up, we'd disarm the vests, and then they'd get rid of the bodies. But so they had one route that was specifically getting hit by IEDs a lot. And we're like, all right, well, this is our route. Like we take this all the time. Like, let's see if we can find out who's doing this. And there's this little tiny village right off the route. It's the only village in the area that runs right up against this road that we take. So we're like, whoever it is, they're in this village, right? So we're thinking, all right, what if before light, we send up a recce element, they'll post up, we'll see if we can find out if they're reporting our movements, right? And maybe we can find out based off their location, a ping or whatever, where they're at, and we can find them. So send out the recce, they get set up. And my job was, I was gonna get out of my vehicle. I was driving up on the road. We were supposed to stop in the middle of the road. I was gonna get out, mess around with some stuff in the back, and see if hey, the Americans have stopped on the road, because you wouldn't really stop on there for any normal reason. So, we assume something's broken in the back or something. So we get out, I mess around with stuff in the back, load up, see what we get when we get back to the FLOT, continue our mission, whatever. So they get set. This is real time now. We pull up, my new guy, D is driving, and I have a EOD guy in the back. I'm like, all right, man, this should be a good spot. It's like, you can just stop here. So he kind of pulls over to the side of the road, doesn't pull off the road, stops. I'm like, all right, here we go. Open my door. There's maybe a foot between the dirt and the paved road. Jump down, walk around the vehicle, climb up the tire. This is me walk up the vehicle on the village side. I'm in the back, my LPO's in the back, he's in the vehicle behind me, mess around for a minute. He's like, all right, man, should be good. Okay, I hop down, walk around to the front of the vehicle. It was early morning, beautiful sunrise coming up, and I just heard something in the back of my head say, stop, look around. Just like that moment where it's like, just pause. And I stop, I freeze. And I'm looking, and dude, from my feet to your feet, I see right off the paved road a little ball of wires and a battery pack sitting right above the ground, covered in dust. I'm like, that's a fucking IED right in front of our vehicle. I look down the road, safe in, safe out, right? And I walk to the back of my vehicle, or to my door, climb up, and Dan, probably bleep out his name, but he says, what is it, Woody? I say, there's an IED right in front of our vehicle, man. And his face oh, suck. He's like, oh, stay right there. I get in the vehicle. He clears around. Turns out, he's like, Woody, you almost died today, man. He's like, there's a crush wire all the way against the side of the road where you got out. And so I kept this little strip of wire where, dude, if I would have stepped off and stepped on this wire, that ID was right there in front of our vehicle. If we pulled off the side of the road, it would have clacked off, And so, now all of a sudden, we're like, all right, we actually have to fix this because if somebody drives through and this thing goes off, like, you know, somebody's going to die. So we cordon off the road, EOD clears behind us, the other vehicle breaks down, comes down towards us, you know, we just stop any kind of traffic. EOD comes up, clips it, we attach it to a pull line, pull it back with a vehicle, EOD goes to clear the hole, brushes his hand over it, and there's like a secondary switch that didn't go off with a secondary charge under it, man. Talk about a miracle,
Shit.
right? He's right on top of it, like touches it. And another IED, had to deal with that one, and so yeah, that, I mean, like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, you go to the FLOT and you're still dealing with stuff, but like there's still, you know, there's still some danger there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, we digress from the Mosul thing. I just thought that was a kind of a cool story.
Yeah.
It's like the near death thing, but